You don't need to be the best trader. You just need to execute what you know works flawlessly. And here's what I mean by that. By being the best trader, that simply means you don't need to know every single concept that there is in the market. You don't need to know all of the smart money concepts, all of the ICT concepts, all of the supply and demand indicators, the support and resistance, the trend lines, the EMAs. You don't need to know all of these things, and you don't need to know, a big one for me recently, you don't need to know, how to trade in each market condition, right? You don't need to know this stuff. All you need to know is a system that works, right? Find out when that system is the most probable to work and when it's least probable to work, and simply trade during the times where the system is most probable and avoid the times when the system is least probable, right? Do not try to learn how to trade in improbable conditions, right? That's been a big one for me recently, and that's something that I have actually learned today, this morning, trading, right? Not typically, but what I don't want to do for my system is trade back into high time frame ranges, right? I'm a continuation trader. I want to continue the trend. If there's no trend on the high time frame, like, what am I doing? It's just least probable for my system. You know what I mean? But if I can just stick to when price is trending, right? We're breaking out of a range, or we're just trending cleanly, either higher or lower, then that is the key time to be trading my system, my continuation model. But when I'm just kind of trying to catch a trade, when it hits the top of the range and then comes back down and then goes to the bottom of the range, then comes back up, when I'm just trying to catch a trade like that, it's not probable for my system, even if there's draws on liquidity higher or lower, right? Like, when we're in a range, there could be clear targets, but when we're in a range, those targets, those highs and lows, are honestly very probable to get edged, and just delivery slow down in general, right? Because we're in a range, we're in improbable conditions for my system, right? So in order to win at this game called trading, right? It's not about being the best trader in the world that can catch a winning trade every day and trade in any conditions, right? It's not about that. And if you think it's about that, then that's your ego thinking for you. Truthfully, that is your ego talking. Like, you cannot trade every single condition in the market and catch a winning trade each and every single day. You cannot do that. So if you're going through a season where the market's giving improbable conditions, you simply just have to stay patient, stay disciplined, and wait out the improbable times. Because once the improbable times are over, then the very probable times will come. The times where we're constantly trending, when we're by all-time highs and just constantly going higher and higher and higher and higher. You know, those days are the free days. Those weeks are the free weeks. Those months are the free months. But times like this, especially for continuation traders, we've just been very range bound on the high time frame, right? So you can't be forcing trades or letting your ego take over and thinking that you're not forcing trades because you want to become that trader that can trade in all conditions, right? And I won't say that those traders don't exist, because they do. However, that's more of a veteran play, in my opinion, right? A trader who's been at this 5 to 10 years, maybe he can, you know, kind of have that thought process. But man, if you're on your come up, right? Maybe you're trying to get your first payout. Maybe you're trying to get your first funded. Maybe you're trying to get your second payout, your first 5K, 10K month, whatever it is, right? Just focus on what works. You more than likely know what works, right? You know your entry criteria. You know what conditions are the most probable for that to work. Dude, so just stick to that. You know it works. Why are you trying to deviate? Why are you trying to, I'm all for improving, guys. I am. Each and every single day, I think to myself, how can I become better mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally? How can I be a better trader? How can I be better on the charts? How can I just be a better man in general? I'm all for improvement, guys. But at some point, especially in trading, less is more. Less is very much more. Which is why I only trade 3 days out of the week, right? Tuesday through Thursday. Those are the best days out of the week for my system. Right? You just gotta stick to what works. Don't, I'm just kind of repeating myself here, but I just need to make it a point, and I'm kind of talking to my past self here as well. Stick to what works. Don't try new confluences. Don't try to get higher RR entries. You know what range of RR works best for you. You know around how far from the draw you want to enter. You know what days are most probable. You know what the high time frame should look like in order to have a high probability day for your system, right? So just stick to that. Why are we trying to change it up? Literally. It's very simple to win at this game. It's very simple. That doesn't make it easy. Do not get me wrong. That does not make it easy, but it's very simple. Right? Find an edge in the market. Once you find that edge, gather experience with that edge relentlessly, back testing, forward testing, just market experience. And literally just replicate it. Find out what conditions are the best for your system, what conditions are the worst for your system, and trade when the conditions are the best and avoid when the conditions are the worst. That's it, guys. That's literally it. For me, conditions are the worst Mondays and Fridays. Also, when the high time frame is in a range, right? And then my system is most probable when there's a clear trend on the high time frame, clear expansion, right? Right, the direction is very clear where we want to go. There's a strong draw on liquidity. You know, Tuesday through Thursday tend to be the expansion days rather than the range bound days. But if there is a range bound day within those days, then I simply avoid it. But that's all, guys. This was a different kind of video. Let me know if you guys did enjoy it. But I just felt called to make this video for you guys. And yeah, that's it. Peace out.